Good morning. I am with the Citroen Berlingo and we'll be looking to fit a new door latch here. So it's not a bad job. So we will just get started. Main door card here. So start by pulling this off. Little 20 torque screwdriver there. Screw there. So we're going to pull this silver surround off here because there's two 30 torque screws behind there, and then there should be long one there, both 20s. So once we get this, that'll take the outer door card, which is also clipped around the inner edges. We'll just pull that off. So let's get to that. So we'll just get this first one out of here. If you want to see anything different on the channel, please let me know in the comments. Anything you want to see more of. It's mainly going to be based around this, maybe a few other cars, vehicles, but mainly this, because this is what we're taking on our European trip in the middle of next year. So yep, if there's anything that you want to see or want to know, please let me know in the comments. Pretty cold and wet up here today as well, so it's not been the best of times for getting some videos out there, plus in the middle of it doing a first aid course as well, so that keeps everything in order. Okay, so we're going to take this off. What I do is just put a thin flat bladed screwdriver around the back of it. I'm not really bothered because it's an old car anyway, so we're going to take this off here. So it pops off pretty easy, and then it's just clipped around there, so but just be careful because they can break. So that's it, just held on with some clips, so we'll put that aside. You can see 130 there, the other one is in there. So, and this one has a tendency to stay in the door card, so watch you don't lose it. So we'll get them out. So I've got that one out, that one just, so it's out, it sits in there. So now what we've got to do is, I normally start at the bottom, just put a trim tool up behind the door card, and you can see, sometimes you'll see the clips round the edges, and we've just got to pop this whole door card off. So I'm just going to do that just now. It's not easy with one hand, so I'll do it and then I will show you how it comes off. So it sort of pops off. You can see the holes and that white clips. You might need to buy new ones of them or equivalent to them. So the door card just comes off. There's no cables or wiring attached to that. Someone's been in here before because the membrane's hanging off. So where we're looking is in here, and I need to get that plug off in there, which is pretty simple. So we'll get that done just now. Flick that off a screwdriver. Okay, door handle just sits on two plastic guides, so that's it. Oh, don't know what that was, it fell out of there. And just sits in this rubber guide here, which just pulls out of the door. Okay, right, because that should be on your new latch. Okay, the part number for these genuine Peugeot, I think, is 9135 EF. So let's go. So we need to get these two screws there, 230 torques out of there. Okay, and through this hole, sometimes this will be covered with a black bit of like vinyl sort of tape stuff. Through that hole there is a screw, which we'll show you what it does in a second. So we'll get these out first. So I've taken that two screws out of there. That is actually the latch now released. Okay, so the next step is the screw, which should be 20 torques on the older ones. Sometimes it can be 25 on the slightly newer ones, so we'll get that checked out right now. So it's just like a little grab screw. It shouldn't be overly tight, so it just comes out. And it should basically come out to a stop and no more. Okay, put that down there just now. So what that does is, when you take this out, that whole lock comes out of that hole there. So you can put that to one side. The handle slides back, pulls out. You can just turn that around and the whole thing comes out like that. And then we'll need to undo this torque screw here, and then we'll just gently, this is actually an aluminium handle, so we can slide this handle back on the inside of the door and the whole thing will come out. So we'll get this screw slackened. It doesn't come right out. You don't need to take it right out. So let's see. Shouldn't be overly tight either, he says. Okay, so we just need it slackened off enough for this to move. So we'll get that now, hopefully. That's all you need to do. Membrane's off the door anyway. Give it a wee bit of persuasion here with your thumb. You can see the bits going through the door there. And you can see how wobbly that is now. So we'll whip that out of there. And then I'll show you how it comes out from the inside. So the whole thing comes out as a winner. This is your latch, which is against the door. That is your inner handle. And this is the inner part of your outside handle. There's that grab screw that I was talking about, where the lock slides in. There's that 20 torques and that two bits that were through the door on the outside. So all we have to do now is undo this clip, take the cable out of here. It's exactly the same on the inner handle. Undo the clip, slide that out of there, and then take the cable out of the handle, and basically we're just swapping this. So we will get on with that now. Let's get into the shed, into the warm. So I've been on eBay, so this is what it looks like with nothing attached. It's basically just two cables and the latch. So we will get the handle swapped over, pretty simple job, and then we'll get the thing put back in. So that was pretty simple. So new latch, short cable to the inner part of the outer door handle, long cable, remember the bit that slides into the door, pretty easy, onto there. So let's get it back in the door. So all I've done there is put the latch up. I've not tightened it in yet, just screwed them in by hand. Slid this bit into the door, and all that is, that's just sitting in there. So we just match that up, push it forward, that's it in. And then all I've done is from the inside of the door, still frost, so these two legs just slide over the door, and obviously the screw slides into the little slot there. So there is a little bit of rubber here. It only fits on one way, and I think it's that way because that little bit goes in there. That goes in there. So it's quite difficult with just one hand and me trying to control my phone. So what I'll do is I'll get that all stuck in, and I will show you how to get the handle back in. Okay, so I've got that rubber bit on. You can see the two legs sit over it, and then that little bit sort of just goes in there. remember to tighten this screw in. It's not overly tight, it just goes in. And I'm right-handed as well, and I'm doing all this with my left. So the handle is pretty simple. It goes this way. That goes in there. Just remember how you took it off, and then this goes in here, and then it just slides forward, and you can feel the springiness, resistance in that already. So that's the handle pretty much attached there. Remember the lock slides in there like that. It should be flush with that. So reverse order. So remember, grab screw just tightens into a stop, and that holds the lock in, which holds the door handle in place. So that's that tightened in. So that's all tight there. Okay, so we'll get that two tightened, and then it's pretty much back on with the door card. It's that easy. Pretty messy, ignore that mess. I've bought myself one of these, and it's quite good because these are the clips that hold your door card on this model. So realistically you only need 4 pretty much to hold this door card on, as long as they're in good condition. So they are, well, as you can see, they're just clipped into the door. So really you just need 4 corners as good ones, and but obviously the more the better. So we'll get these sorted out, and then we'll get the card back on. There's that screw I was talking about that falls out of the door. Right, let's get these clips sorted out, get this door back together. So other reasons why you would be in here: speaker, which is just a couple of screws, door wiring loom maybe, which is the complete door loom, window regulator. They're bad for coming loose. You'll probably find that most of these models have repair washers, so you can check that when you're in here, and sometimes mirror change or whatever. So I'm just going to let you know, this wiring harness here that goes onto the lock, it's got a little clip there on this window bit. Just make sure that's in there before you clip this back into the lock, and you should hear that clicking in. So if that's not in, you're going to be back in here again. Okay, so that's all on. Right, let's get this door card back on. So small 20 torques there, 2 30s there, 1 20 torques there, 1 20 torques there, clipped in trim here. That just clips in, that's pretty straightforward. Clips in there, and this is just a mirror screw cover here. So that's that. Okay, remember to have your key in your pocket in case it goes wrong. Try it. Should be spot on. Excellent. Job done.